Hey yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and the Pacific playoffs are down to the final three. EMEA playoffs have eliminated their first two teams the night that I'm recording this, which means, well, we saved the best for last. It's time for our VCT Americas Pick'ems. 6 teams fighting for 3 spot, and guess what? No EG, no NRG, no Loud. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's go ahead and get down and do what it do. Let's go ahead and get started as far as those knockout round matches here. We'll get started off with our opening match for VCT Americas playoffs here, and that's going to be KRU versus Cloud9. If you feel like this is deja vu all over again, it's because it is. They literally played just last week. KRU 2-0'd them. Cloud9 didn't really give you much to really be excited about. That on top of a kind of lackluster stage 2, to be honest. So go ahead and give me KRU in a 2-0. As far as that second elimination game, though, that Sentinels versus 100 Thieves, this is where things get really interesting. I feel like I've been selling Sentinels short all year long. I mean, I know it definitely bit me in the rear when it came to kickoff, not so much for stage number 1. They did beat 100 Thieves, of course, to open up their season, and 100 Thieves has kind of been on this roller coaster ride all season long for VCT Americas. Look, as I've mentioned recently on the OnCue podcast, I thought that maybe it was time to give Boostio his flowers. But look, I don't know if 100 Thieves has what it takes to be able to take down Sentinels. I just don't know if they've been consistent enough. I think I'm going to go ahead and roll with Sentinels 2-0. Go ahead and give 100 Thieves a map. Go ahead and give me Sentinels in 3. They're in that knockout round. Unfortunately, though, that does mean that's going to spell the end for the season for the 100 Thieves crew here. But does give also Sentinels another deja vu matchup that we've just seen here recently this past week. We started off our weekend with one here with that Cloud9 versus KRU. We're going to get one in that bottom half of the upper bracket semifinals with G2 versus Sentinels. G2 just took down Sentinels in the final week of the season. It was 2-0. And honestly, G2, they haven't lost a game since the grand finals from Split 1 playoffs, at least regionally when we talk about for Americas. I think they've got their eyes set on the prize. Go ahead and give me G2 into when it comes to that upper bracket semifinal. So we do have, of course, a South America showdown in that other upper bracket semifinal matchup. And while I do think KRU's on a relatively strong run right now, I think they deserve to be in the playoffs right now, at least as one of those bottom tier seeds. I mean, Leviatan's just been on a whole new level. I mean, they've literally only lost 1 game when it comes to regular season play. They've only lost a couple all year round when it comes to regional play, when you include the playoffs last stage as well. I just don't think KRU's got enough for what it takes. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Leviatan there in that upper bracket finals. Sends them into that upper bracket final against G2. I think Leviatan do take it in 3, though. I don't think either of our upper bracket semifinals is a sweep. I think it's going to take G2 3. No, I did say G2 and 2. Do I want to give them a map? Nah, go ahead and give me G2 and 2, Leviatan and 3 when it comes to the upper bracket semifinals there. And of course, that does give us our upper bracket final, Leviatan versus G2. G2, one of the few teams who owns a dub over the course of this season, at least when it comes to our Americas teams, over Leviatan. Last time these two teams faced off against one another was in the lower bracket finals during that stage 1 playoffs. These two teams, they've technically split their series so far in the season. Of course, they had the lower bracket final. They had their regular season game as well. I think it's going to be a banger. But go ahead and give me Leviatan in 3. Progressing into that grand final, locking in the top 2, sending G2 down to that lower bracket as well. That gives us KRU versus Sentinels in that lower bracket round number 1. Look, kind of similar to like I said about KRU versus Leviatan. I am happy that we do have KRU in the playoffs. I think they've been looking decent. The only thing, though, is that I just don't think that they look better than the Sentinels have, at least as of recently. Y'all know that I'm a big fan as far as when it comes to being able to see maps go the distance, being able to see this thing maybe go to 3. Do I want to give KRU a map? Yeah, let's go ahead and give KRU a map. Let's go ahead and do it. Nah. Yeah, let's go ahead and give KRU a map, but go ahead and give me the Sentinels moving on in this series after a hard-fought matchup against KRU. So that's going to give us G2 versus Sentinels again, just like we had in that upper bracket semifinals. Y'all know I'm a big fan of like the story of redemption when it comes to getting sent to the lower bracket by a team and then getting another opportunity against them. I just don't see it here. I think we do see G2 versus Leviatan one more time for the one time when it comes to Americas. A new sort of a rivalry sort of brewing between those two top teams that have been sitting at the top of Americas. And if you think about it, that actually does mean that for Leviatan and G2, they've now completed the cycle of playoff finals. Of course, they met in the lower bracket finals last time in stage number 1. They will now meet in the upper bracket finals. And if it works out this way, they'll also be working out and playing themselves a grand finals matchup for all the marbles here in stage number 2. Leviatan, I do believe, is the best team in Americas right now. Expect some fireworks in this matchup. I think it's going to go all 5. But go ahead and give me Leviatan walking out, hoisting the trophy. So it means despite losing their first series in the playoffs, 100 Thieves is going to be joining Leviatan, G2, and Sentinels in Seoul for the 2024 champions. And while it'll definitely be weird not having last year's champs, not having Loud, or even the last minute formed team of NRG, which a lot of people are starting to call a super team, I think Americas is realistically still sending 4 very solid squads off to Seoul. But I mean, let me know what you guys think as far as who's going to be representing Americas in Seoul for VCT Champions. Who's going to be hoisting the trophy when everything's all said and done when it comes to the playoffs. Of course, every like, comment, that all helps out little old me as I'm chasing down that first 1,000 subscribers over here on the channel. But definitely let me know who you guys are going to be picking as far as your top 3. And of course, you guys think would be sliding into that wild card spot based off of points there as well. Appreciate y'all coming through and hanging out with your boy. If you want to see how I've been doing as far as my pick'ems for EMEA as well as for Pacific, I'll go ahead and make sure I've got them posted right up on up there. Until we get y'all back over here for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all, it's your boy Q signing out.